are you? I'm Antonio again. This is the third lesson, lesson number 3. I hope that you have been studying with these lessons, with these short videos about 10, 11, 12 minutes. So I'm very happy to see you again, to be here again. I hope one more time that you are okay, you are healthy, and with a lot of patience. And I also hope that you are studying and these lessons and English is making you studying, and I don't know, and it's better to pass these days with a smile. So let's continue studying. I'm going to explain to you again some of the topics of these contents from the study, so we can continue with shall, with will, and of course we have another song to you, because music fortunately is one main thing that is making the things going better. So let's continue. Come with me. I'm going to review again this, first of all, this shall, okay? Remember shall. First of all, shall is not very common in English, but maybe also, if you remember the last song that I gave to you, it was one from Bob Dylan, I Shall Be Released. So shall is common in some books, in literature, in music, in songs, and all of this. But remember that in these cases, shall, the meaning is future. That is why maybe you have read that is a kind of formal will, which is not correct 100%, but anyway, in these cases, literature and music, maybe this meaning is future. But of course, you have to remember that it is not very common in modern English, and it is, of course, very formal, right? So, we really, actually, we use this shall, okay, as the book says, for offers and suggestions. This is the real use of this shall. Remember, always with the first person, singular or plural, I or we. For example, shall we go home now? Or shall I cook dinner tonight? Okay, look, I have we, I have I. This is the most common subjects, and it's not future in these cases with offers and suggestions, with will, with future, because if you realize, shall we go home now is a kind of present. Vamos a casa ahora. Or shall I cook dinner tonight? Cocino la cena, hago la cena esta noche. This is the real use, so it is not this meaning of future, because this shall, as I was talking to you before, is not very common and is very formal, the same as these songs. I also have another song with shall for today, but anyway, this is one of the topics. The second one is about this will. We said will is for instant responses, instant answers, but anyway, I'm going to explain the future simple tenses, the uses of will. Okay, so first of all, and is the one from the book, is when we make an important instant decision. This is the real thing. We make a decision to do something in the future. I'm writing because I think it's clearer like this. While we are talking about it. Yes, so when we make first used an instant decision, the one that the book says, okay? We make a decision to do something in the future while we are talking about it. For example, if I say, hey, I'll answer the phone. What does it mean? That the phone is ringing at that moment, yes, and you decide to answer the phone. but it is not deliberated. I mean, you didn't think about it. It's an instant decision, right? Or for example, if I say, oh, I'll buy apples tomorrow, for example, because you realize in that moment that you don't have any apples, okay? And then you decide to buy apples tomorrow or the next day, okay? So if you see, I'm going to use the purple one. This is so sudden. This is this instant decision that is why we write it like in the contracted form. We don't say I will answer the phone. It's actually I'll answer the phone because of this instant decision, okay? By the way, if we continue talking about will, I have to give to you other two uses. Actually, is number two is the same uses as in Spanish, actually, if I'm honest. For example, when we make a promise or offer to do something in the future. I hope you understand the letters. When we make a promise, important thing, or offer to do something in the future. For example, if I say, I'll phone you again tomorrow. This is tomorrow. So, for example, in this case, it's different situation. You are speaking to your friend, and then you promise to phone him or her again tomorrow. So this is a kind of promise because it's not the same as the other one, okay? And finally, number three of this will, this usage of will, is when we make a prediction. Actually, maybe the most useful, okay? Prediction. This is always future, right? For example, if I say, I think, and by the way, this is the real beginning of this kind of sentences, I think they will win the game on Saturday. Yes, of course, here you don't know if they will win, but you predict, okay, that they will win. This is like the most common. For example, I think this quarantine will finish in 1 month. I don't know. Or I think Real Madrid will win on Saturday, or I don't know, Trump will win in 2 years. I don't know. But all these kind of robots will govern the earth. This kind of predictions is future with will. If you see, it's not contraction here. Of course, you can use it, but it's not so common. But when the promise is different, and of course, the one that the book says, instant decision, that is why we have this contracted, and you make this decision to do something in the future while you are talking about it. It's so sudden that you use this will. Actually, in Spanish, we have to translate it into yo lo cojo, in this case. Yo respondo, compro las manzanas mañana, whatever. It's also a kind of present in Spanish because it's so sudden. By the way, of course, I have a song. In this case, is a song with this shall, this use of shall, again, formal, and same as a future, is we shall overcome. Overcome means superar something, okay? Lo superaremos, lo lograremos. It's a kind of very important song of the 60s. I have Pete Seeger, also Sam Cooke, all of them. This is Pete, sang this song, Joan Baez, I mean, all of them, okay? You have several covers on the internet, on YouTube. So it's very easy, but the thing is here because of this shall, okay? Because in this sense is will. We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday, algún día, yes? Deep in my heart, I do believe. When we have this auxiliary form, this do, is because you are reinforcing. I believe, right? I do believe. I really, really believe. That is why we have the auxiliary form on the positive. We shall overcome someday. And then it says, we'll walk hand in hand 4 times someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace one day. So it's kind of repeating song, but it is shall. So it's a nice song, actually important in these days. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I think everything is clear now. And of course, see you for the next lesson. I hope you are okay, you are healthy. Take care and bye-bye. See you. Hello again, I'm Antonio. This is the 4th lesson. I hope you are enjoying with all these videos. I hope they are helpful and they are useful for you, and you are studying at home, enjoying again with English, and you are again with motivation and with a lot of will of continue learning, continue studying English. So for today, I'm going to explain to you the last things about this unit, because if you want to have a look at the previous videos, we talked about shall, we talked about all the different, don't remember, but anyway, will, instant answers, all these kind of things. So today we're going to see the vocabulary, especially that, and of course we will have a song. But anyway, today we're going to talk about the social behavior. There are a lot of listening exercises about this social behavior, so I'm going to try to explain to you. I think it's quite easy, but anyway, if you have any doubt, we can start. So come with me and let's start talking about this social behavior, okay? So different costumes, different traditions. So this is the vocabulary, more or less. So as you can see, this is the social behavior, especially the main topic. And now we have, for example, to go out on a date. A date is a meeting, yes. It's a kind of arrangement with someone, yes. To hug each other, in this case, hug is abrazar. We can say to give a hug also if you want, I mean, but the verb is hug, is a regular one. We have to double the last, I mean, we want to use it past simple, is that form. We have to insist on paying, never insist in, insist on, and ing. In this case, insist on paying, for example, a bill, okay, in a restaurant, whatever, yeah. To invite someone to your house, is easy, that one. To kiss someone on both cheeks, cheeks in the face, we have 2 of them, in this case, mejillas, right? To offer to pay, for example, is a new one. To pick someone up from their house, for example. But remember that the phrasal verb is to pick up, means recoger, but whoever you pick up is in the middle of the phrasal verb. So you pick someone up, okay? So the person is always in the middle. To refuse an invitation, so reject an invitation, say no to an invitation, yes? Rechazar in this case. To shake hands is what we do, yes? For example, in business or something like that. And finally, also greetings. To share the bill, so we have to share the bill, we have to offer to pay, insist on paying, we have a lot of things with the bill. And finally, take someone home. I also wrote this because it's very informal but very common and very useful. To give a lift to someone is acercar, is the same. Dar un acercón, something like that. I mean, but with the car or something like that. Okay, so this is all the vocabulary, and of course I have some examples I'm going to show you. So let's start reading all of them. Examples about all the social behavior. For example, In my country, when two women meet, they usually kiss each other on both cheeks. So we have one of the verbs. The show starts at 7, so I'll pick you up at 6. Realize again that the person is in the middle. The food took an hour to arrive, so we refused to pay the bill, so we didn't pay at the end. Do people usually shake hands when they do business in your country? Yes, they do in this case, but anyway, another example. I said I'd get the bus, but he insisted on driving me to the party. So again, insist on ing. Yes. Ali and Sophie were so excited when they heard the news that they hugged each other and cried with happiness. So se abrazaron each other, una otra, and past simple of verb to hug. Yes. Give me a hug or hug me in this case. Yes. So all of them, different examples. You can look for them on the workbook. Okay, it's one of the exercises, if I'm not wrong. What else? Let's continue talking about social behavior, and now we have different expressions to start some of the sentences, right? So social behavior, for example, we can say things like that. It's considered rude, grosero, to, and we say what? For example, I don't know, to eat with to speak when you are eating with your mouth full, for example, yes, something like that. It's good manners too. So it's the buenas maneras, buena educación, right? So remember, in English, education, we are talking about the schooling. But politeness, good and bad manners means our yes, good and bad manners means our educación in this case. Yes. So education is just for schooling, university, all of these. Politeness is all we are talking about. So good manners, bad manners, we're talking about politeness in this case. It's normal too, or it's perfectly normal too. It's okay to, something else. It's acceptable to, or it's unacceptable to. It's usual for people to, or it's unusual for people to. And finally, people tend to, tiende a, or don't tend to, something like that. Okay, I have examples about this, and they are here. You will see. For example, French businessmen, I'm going to use another color, French businessmen tend to keep their ties on, dejarse la corbata, in this case, the ties, yes? In China, it's considered rude, we have another one, to use a hot towel to wipe your face. Usar una toallita para secarse la cara, for example. Germans don't tend to call colleagues, remember, in your workplace, by their first name, yes? So, don't tend to, for example. In Japan, it's good manners, another example, to build relationships slowly when doing business or businesses. In many Arabic countries, it's unacceptable to talk about business during meals, for example, yes. In the UK, it's important to take a gift to a dinner party, so to bring something, yes, I don't know, wine, flowers, yeah. In Spain, it isn't usual to write 2nd of July as 7-2, yes, because of course we start with the day and then the month. That is why they are talking about this, yes. And finally, in the USA, it's perfectly normal for people to wear casual clothes on Fridays, yes. So different ways of saying this. So I have another exercise. I'm going to listen to you from here, okay? For example, in our country, wear casual clothes in the office. We can say that it's considered rude to wear casual clothes, or it's bad manners, or it's acceptable, yes? Let's see that, for example, all of them. Let's write it's acceptable if you want. Yes, because it's a kind of open-minded place. Keep your shoes on in people's houses. So we can say it's usual, for example, because we don't. It's usual for people, if you want, to keep your shoes on in people's houses. Blow your nose in public. For example, we can say it's bad manners. Suena acelerar, yes. Take flowers or a bottle of wine when you go to someone's house for dinner. We can say is, for example, good manners, right? You see? So this is how it works. So it's good manners to take flowers, yes. Leave food on your plate at the end of a meal in someone's house is, for example, considered rude or bad manner, yes. Men to kiss women on the hand, maybe it's unusual now, yes, we can say now. And finally, women to go out in groups on their own, it's usual or it's normal or something like that, yes. So it's usual for women to go out in groups of their own. So different ways of seeing this kind of sentences in different situations. We're talking about social behavior, of course, all these kind of relationships among people, yes. And finally, of course, I have a song. The band is called Three Dog Night. I don't know if you know them. They are here, a lot of unusual guys, Three Dog Night, yes. So they have a song called Mama Told Me Not to Come. I have this song because actually this is a reported speech that we studied it the unit before or 2 units before, yes. So Mama told me not to come because Mama said don't come, yes. So reported speech, Mama told me not to come, and the song is quite funny. Uses, will you have whiskey with your water or sugar with your tea? What are these crazy questions that they're asking of me? This is the craziest superlative party that there ever could be. Oh, don't turn on the light, 'cause I don't want to see. And now the lyrics here, the chorus is Mama told me not to come, Mama told me not to come. That ain't the way to have fun. This ain't is a kind of that is not the way to have fun. They use this ain't in a lot of situations, so it's not the same example. Maybe it's not, have not, whatever. So this is the song. I hope you enjoy it. I think we have almost the unit or the full unit explained. So I hope you continue studying and take care, be healthy, be happy, and see you very soon. Bye bye.